Well, hello everybody, welcome to Vinyl Treasures. I'm your host, Johnny G. John Galindo, coming to you live each and every Saturday, only here on Top Shelf Oldies. Want to welcome you to the May 8th, 2021 Vinyl Treasure Show. Glad you can join Johnny G for this 1950s and early 60s edition. Kind of a lousy day today. A little bit overcast, had some rain, but kind of cleared up later on. I don't know how Mother's Day is going to be tomorrow, but I have a couple of Mother's Day songs we're going to send out to all the moms out there. But and again, I received an email. We lost Lloyd Price last night or yesterday, I think, and I got 3 records I'm going to play for that. But anyway, we opened up tonight's Vinyl Treasure Show with Raphael Googie Rene, and he was the son and the A&R director for his father Leon Rene's Class record label. Not only was he an orchestra leader, but he also played piano and composed. And like the one we just heard, he wrote this tune called Wham Bam. The Flip is a nice girl group sound by I think they're called the Rolettes. Sad Fool. But that was the A-side there, September 1956. Googie Rene and his Wham Bams on the Class record label with a Wham Bam is the name of the tune. Well, let's get to the vocal portion here. We open up with a couple of up-tempos here. Lots of requests tonight. We're going to open up with a request here for Mark Goldfarb. It's on Steve Samuel's High Tone record label out of Harlem, New York. It's by Georgia Harris, and she's being backed up by a vocal group. They're called the High Tones, and they also have a release on this label, High Tone Records. But our opener tonight, by request, for Mark Goldfarb, it's November 58. Georgia Harris and the High Tones on High Tone. It's called I Want to Kiss You, parentheses, da 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 dum dum.
I wanna hold you, I wanna squeeze you, I want to love you too.
Oh well, come let me hold you, I wanna kiss you, come let me tell you how much I miss you, my little darling. Come on and kiss me now. Oh well, oh well, oh well, oh well, we'll be together and we'll be happy. I will be near you, I'm going to cheer you. You'll be my darling, I'll be your darling too. You know I love you, how I need you. You know I want you so. When you leave me, how you grieve me. Don't you do that anymore. Oh well, love me forever. Dum dum de dum, we'll be together. Dum dum de dum, you say you love me, and let me love you too. I want to love you too, and let me love you too. You know I love you, how I need you. You know I want you so. When you leave me, you know you grieve me. Don't you do that anymore. Oh well, love me forever. Dum dum de dum, we'll be together. Dum dum de dum, you say you love me. I want to love you too. I've got to love you too. I want to love you too. I wanna kiss you.
I wanna squeeze you,
Oh, how I miss you.
I don't wanna leave you,
Come on and kiss me now. Oh well, oh well, oh well, oh well.
love me forever,
Da da di dum dum,
we'll be together.
la la di dum dum. You say you love me, and let me love you too. I want to love you too, and let me love you too, and let me love you too.
We open up the vocal portion there with a request from Mark Goldfarb, November 1958 release on Steve Samuel's High Tone record label. That's Georgia Harris and the High Tone, song entitled I Want to Kiss You, parentheses, da 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 dum dum is the name of that one. Now this song by Georgia Harris is actually an alternate B-side to this release. The flip side is by the High Tones. It's called I'm a Fool, the true first press of this. The B-side of this release on High Tone 120 was a song called Chinese Boogie, and I do have that 45. I do, but I don't know, sometimes with the record labels, they mess up on the numbers. They do, maybe they changed it. I don't know why they changed the flip side and put Georgia Harris on there, but Georgia Harris does a wonderful Christmas song called Let's Exchange Hearts for Christmas. That's a great tune that she does, and actually the release after this, High Tone 121 with her, is really a hard record that I do not have, that I'm looking for. Anyway, Johnny G here on a Saturday evening. We're spinning 1950s and early 60s original vinyl 45s out of my collection. We do it every Saturday from 10 to 1 a.m. here on Top Shelf Oldies and on YouTube. So if you're new here to the YouTube channel, please like my video and subscribe. Very important that I get the notification out to YouTube. Maybe they won't give me copyright strikes anymore, but let's continue here. And we fill a request for listener Nick Nicola, this pianist, songwriter, band leader, and singer from New Orleans, Louisiana, recorded for many different labels, but here's one he did on Benny Ray's Blend label out of Long Beach, California. This artist goes by the name of Ray Johnson, with a group called the Highlighters here, which included his younger brother, saxophonist Plaz Johnson, and his sister Gwen Johnson. They were in the group, of course, Plaz playing saxophone, but this is by request for Nick Nicola, December 1954. Ray Johnson and the Highlighters. It's on the Blend label out of California. It's called Gonna Roll Lucky 7 Tonight.
I'm gonna roll, roll, roll lucky 7 tonight. I'm gonna roll, roll, roll lucky 7 tonight. So all you cats just gather all around and put your loot right here up on the ground. I'm gonna roll, roll, roll lucky 7 tonight. I'm gonna make me some money tonight. I'm gonna make me some money tonight. I'm gonna make these guys win me a stack, then buy an Eldorado Cadillac. I'm gonna roll, roll, roll lucky 7 tonight. Feels so good.
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 I'm gonna buy myself a Cadillac, so all you cats just watch me make my stack. I'm gonna roll, roll, roll lucky 7 tonight. Feels so good.
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 I'm gonna buy myself a Cadillac, so all you cats just watch me make my stack. I'm gonna roll, roll, roll lucky 7 tonight.
As by request for Nick Nicola, there we open up. Well, actually, we don't open up, but that's from December 1954. It's on the Blend label out of California. That's the same label. I think this is 1002. Later on, they were a white label with red print, but that's That's Ray Johnson and the Highlighters there on Blend Records. It's called Gonna Roll Lucky 7 Tonight. You want to take that one with you to the casino when you go. Johnny G here on a Saturday evening as we continue here and we count down the music chronologically here on the 50s edition. And here's an early one from 1951. Actually, it's a request for listener Daniel Kubacki. It's the B-side to the Dominoes' first #1 R&B hit. I'm sure many of you know that tune. It's called 60-Minute Man. This is on Sid Nathan's Federal record label. This side features Clyde McPhatter on lead. This is going out by request to Daniel, March 1951. I was looking for my mint copy of this. I didn't find it. But anyway, this is from March 1951. These are the Dominoes by request for Daniel on the Federal label. It's called I Can't Escape From You.
Tell me why do I love you the way I do? Although you don't want me, I can't escape from you. Like a leaf in a windstorm, a prisoner too. I'm bound by my heartstrings. I can't escape from you. Would I still wait till there come a day my heart is free to go. I'll tell you no lie, I doubt if I try, because I love you so. Can't you see what you're doing? Don't say we're through, because I love you dearly. I can't escape from you.
Would I still wait if there comes a day my heart is free to go? Well, I tell you no lie, I doubt if I'll ever try, because I need you so.
Can't you see what you're doing? Don't say we're through,
I love you so,
because I love you dearly.
fill up my heart.
I can't escape from you.
You'll never know.
B-sides here on the Vinyl Treasure Show by request for Daniel Kubacki. That's the Dominoes. Clyde McPhatter on lead there. The Dominoes, the B-side to 60-Minute Man, a song entitled I Can't Escape From You. That one there on Sid Nathan's Federal record label for you collectors out there. The true first press has to have the double A. I'll show you the copy again. So be careful when you're buying, even for the gold. I think even on the gold top Federals, they're released without the double A's. Johnny G babbling on here. Let's continue here. And last night I received actually a sad email from collectors collector Tom Goodell informing me that passing of Lloyd Price, the great Lloyd Price, he was 88 years old. I read today that he was living in a long-term care facility, actually in New Rochelle, New York, not too far from me. He was living here in Westchester County for a number of years now, and he died of complications from diabetes. So I wanted to feature a couple of 45s by Lloyd to play. We pay tribute to his very successful career that spanned over 66 years. I think he stopped. I think he even was recording back in 2018. I saw that he was. But let's give a spin to the B-side of his debut single. It's a song he wrote. This one came out on Art Roop's specialty label. It's from April of 1952. This is Lloyd Price on specialty. This is the B-side of his first release. It's called Mailman Blues. Wait, I can't do that. I don't like that when the record does that. Ah.
Well, night before the last, the mailman knocked on my door. Well, night before the last, the mailman knocked at my door. He said, get ready, brother, this time you have to go. Oh, mailman, mailman, tell me what you got for me. Oh, mailman, mailman, tell me what you got for me. He said, a long letter, brother, we need you across the sea. Well, now all day long is 1, 2, 3, and 4. Well, all day long it's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Well, I'm so unhappy I can't see baby no more. Just a little old raggedy town. No great big city, just a little old raggedy town. Well, it's on me boogie, I believe I put it down.
That's the late Lloyd Price there. That is the B-side to his first release on Art Roop's specialty record label. It's entitled Mailman Blues, April 52 release. Now, the A-side of this was called Lordy Miss Claudie, another song that he wrote. That was actually a big #1 R&B hit for him on the Billboard R&B chart. Johnny G here on a Saturday evening. We continue here. And on last week's Vinyl Treasure Show, I played a request for Daniel Kubacki. He requested the Crickets, their first release on Joe Davis's JD record label. It was called When I Met You. Now, Daniel and also... or I should say, Daniel asked if I could flip it over, give a listen to the B-side, the actually intended A-side, along with listener Joe Booza. So let's send this one out to Joe and Daniel, and it features Dean Barlow on lead. This is Dean Barlow and the Crickets, July 1953, JD Records. It's called Dreams and Wishes.
And wishes center all round you.
I know you have found somebody new. Still I dream and wish for the love that we once knew. They say have faith in dreams and wishes, and someday they may come true. Please come back to me again. How could you leave me when all my dreams and wishes are for you? Please come back to me again. How could you leave me when all my dreams and wishes are for you? Wishes are for you.
That's by request there for Joe Bouza and Daniel Kubacki. Those are the Crickets there with the great Dean Barlow on lead. July 1953 release on the JD record label, Dreams and Wishes. What a cool tune that is. Comes out on the Pink JD record label. Johnny G here on a Saturday evening as we continue here. And here is another by the late Lloyd Price. And this is really the only specialty release that features a vocal group, and mostly all his releases are, at least on the specialty label, were solos. But since Lloyd was enlisted in the Army between the year January 1953 and January 55, label owner Art Roop wanted to continue to put out releases by Lloyd. And since I think maybe around 1954, when vocal groups were now becoming more and more mainstream, Roop decided he wanted to record Lloyd with a vocal group, but that was pretty much impossible with Lloyd in the service. So Roop decided to dub in a group vocals into one of his unreleased masters that Lloyd recorded back in March of 1952, and it became Lloyd's 9th release on the specialty label while he was in the service. And Roop dubbed in a group that was recording for the label at the time. They were called the Dukes. So they weren't really singing at the session when Lloyd Price recorded this. He added this in. They added this in to the master. But anyways, from October 54, and on the label it reads Lloyd Price and the Dukes. It's on Specialty Records. It's called Ooh-Ee Baby.
Ooh-Ee baby, 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 ooh-Ee. I got a little old baby, rides me night and day. I got a little old baby, rides me night and day. When we start our loving, this is the way she prays. She said, ooh-wee daddy, ooh, how you good for me. She cries, ooh-wee daddy, ooh, how you good for me. She said,
you're thrilling, but I can't take this misery.
That's the late Lloyd Price there with the dubbed-in Dukes. Gives credit to the Dukes on the label, October 1954 release on the specialty label. Ooh-Ee Baby is the name of the tune. And Dukes also have a release on the specialty label also. Johnny G here spinning original vinyl. Now on the last Vinyl Treasure show, I featured a group called The Empires, group out of Harlem, New York, on Morty Shad's Harlem record label out of New York City with their debut single called Corn Whiskey. Featured John Barnes on lead for that one. The flip side features Les Cooper. Les Cooper on lead. Yes, the same Les Cooper that would have an instrumental hit in 1962 called Wiggle Wobble on the Everlast label, if you've heard of that tune. But anyway, this one from late 1954. These are the Empires on the Harlem label. Les Cooper on lead. It's called My Baby, My Baby.
My baby, my baby, my baby don't love me no more, no more. My baby, my baby, my baby don't love me no more, no, no. Well, she's discovered
Those are the Empires there with Les Cooper on lead there. Nice bluesy sound. by the Empire's late 1954 release. It's on the Harlem record label. My Baby is the name of the tune. Let's stay in 1954 here with a request for Amnon. He requested this gal from Beaumont, Texas, first recording for the Star Day label back in 1953, but this one came out on the Capitol label, written by jazz saxophonist Joe Thomas, and it's a cover song. This was first recorded by Jimmy McPhail on the RCA record label back in 1952, and this copy that I'm playing, this Capitol promo, belonged to Pittsburgh disc jockey Mad Mike. And I think he used to come out with those, is it Mad Mike's Moldy Oldies, I think? They were LPs that he used to put out in the Pittsburgh area. But he would write on I have a lot of his records in my collection. I forget who got, I think it was Doug Hanners that bought out his collection from his widow. And he put them up for sale. I was able to get quite a few of them. And he wrote on all the labels. He would say, great radio. Now, I don't know what this one means on here. He put F. Radio. I don't know if that means fun radio, because he would write like fun song, great radio, a teen sound. He would do all these cute things on the records that he would play. I don't know. But anyway, this is actually a request for listener Amnon, who's been checking out all my archive shows going way back. Thank you, Amnon, for all your comments about the groups, etc. Because he says when I say I don't have any information about a group, Amnon will post it on my right on my YouTube wall there. But this is by request for Amnon, October 54. Her name is Patsy Ruth Elshire. It's on the Capitol label, and the tune is called Sugar Plum.
You're my sugar lump,
sugar lump, sugar lump.
You grow sweeter and sweeter, and every day.
Sugar lump,
oh, sugar lump,
sugar lump, sugar lump, sugar lump.
You're my sugar lump,
sugar lump, sugar lump.
You grow sweeter and sweeter, and every way. You're all mine, sugar lump,
sugar lump, sugar lump, sugar lump.
You're my sugar lump,
sugar lump, sugar lump.
I'm afraid that someday you will melt away, but until that day you'll never get away.
Sugar lump, sugar lump.
You're all mine, sugar lump,
Sugar lump, sugar lump, sugar lump.
You're my sugar
Sugar
lump.
lump, sugar lump, sugar lump.
I'm afraid that someday you will melt away, but until that day you'll never get away.
Sugar lump, sugar lump, sugar lump.
Sugar lump, oh, sugar lump. You're my sweetie pie, my honey pie, baby. You're my sugar lump.
That's by request for listener Amnon there. I said it wrong. I said Sugar Plum. No, it's Sugar Lump. Sugar Lump is the name of that one. Her name is Patsy Ruth Elshire, October 1954. It's on the Capitol record label. Sugar Lump is the name of that one. That's actually a Mad Mike moldy oldie original. I have to say it is. I got quite a few in my collection. I'll play them from time to time. Johnny G here on a Saturday evening. As we continue here, let's go up to Chicago, Illinois for a request for Evan Blatt. This is on the Theron record label. It's the debut single for a group called the Marvellos. I have no info on this group, but they are the same group that recorded for the Stephanie and the Marvello labels. This is by request for Evan, December 1955. The Marvellos on Theron. It's called You're the Dream.
You're the dream, you set my soul on fire too. You're the dream, you are my one desire too. You're the dream, you're the one for me, one for me. You're the dream, you are my one desire too. You're the dream, you set my soul on fire too. You're the dream, you're the one for me. Your beautiful vision I see. He tells me that you're the one for me. Your lips are as sweet as a rose. So darling, we may meet who knows. Oh, oh. You're the dream, you set my soul on fire too. You're the dream, you are my one desire too. You're the dream, you're the one for me. Your beautiful vision I see. He tells me that you're the one for me. Your lips are as sweet as a rose. So darling, we may meet who knows. Oh, oh, oh. You're the dream, you send my soul on fire too. You're the dream, you are my one desire too. You're the dream, you're the one for me.
There you go. Those are the Marvellos there, December 1955 release. It's on the Theron record label. The song is called You're the Dream. And again, I first heard this song on the Time Capsule show in the late 1970s. George Tompkins typed that in the YouTube chat. He did too, I guess. Johnny G here, spinning, original vinyl 45s. We are in the year 1955. And since tomorrow will be Mother's Day, I usually feature a couple of Mother's Day tunes to celebrate that day. Send it out to all the mothers out there, so we send this out to you. So this is going out to all the mothers, especially my mother, as we head to Brooklyn, New York for this group. It's on Sam Koval's Samson label. Again, I know nothing about this group, but they're called the Soft Tones. The Soft Tones, it's from 1955, Samson Records, and a nice rendition on this tune here, their version of My Mother's Eyes.
One bright and guiding light.
Boom, boom, boom.
One lonely soul. I walk the straight and narrow to reach my goal. Just like a wandering sparrow, one lonely soul. I walk the straight and narrow to reach my goal.
That's going out to all the mothers out there tuned into the Vinyl Treasure Show, especially my mother who's baking Italian biscotti downstairs. I smell it up here in the attic. It's making me hungry, it is. But those are the Soft Tones there. 1955, it's on the Samson label. It's called My Mother's Eyes. You collectors out there have to be very careful on this record, but it's easily detected. The originals. They're more of a deeper orange, and the vinyl is kind of a grainy vinyl. The other second presses, I don't know who pressed them up, but they use the same stampers, but the label color is more washed out and they're more rounded edges. I have one here. I will show you what that looks like if you can tell, but you'll definitely see the difference in the colors on the labels. Johnny G here, trying to educate all you young record collectors out there as we continue here. We're holding class every Saturday from 10 to 1 a.m. So tell your students to come in. I should teach this course at Westchester Community College, right, Robert Neal? I got to talk to Barbara. She teaches there. I should say, in my retirement, I can teach a 2-hour record collecting class. That would be pretty cool. Like on Blackboard Jungle. Remember he brought his records in and they broke all his 78s? That would not be cool. Johnny G here on a Saturday evening as we continue here. We are in the year 1955. We go back to Chicago, Illinois for a flip side from last week as I featured a group called the Pastels. Not the same Pastels that recorded Been So Long. This group is out of Chicago. Came out on Leonard Allen's United record label. The group's only release. I featured the A-side called Boom Diddy Boom, but I really like the B-side on this. It features Fred Buckley on lead. We go back to December 1955. The Pastels on the United label. It's called Put Your Arms, or at least my copy is, Put Your Arms Around Me.
I'm lost, for I cannot see. Won't you tell me that you love me, love me? Be an angel just for me. I'm lost, and I'm going insane. If you put your arms around me, then we'll walk through Lover's Lane. Oh yes, I'm lost. Can't you see, baby, you're for me? Can't you see? And in this heart, my dear, is a feeling and a reason for shedding tears. I'm lost for playing the game. If you put your arms around me, then we'll walk through Lover's Lane. I'm lost, and I'm going insane. If you put your arms around me, then we'll walk through Lover's Lane. Walk through Lover's Lane.
Yeah, those are the Pastels out of Chicago, Illinois. That there with Fred Buckley on lead, December 1955. On the United record label, Put Your Arms Around Me is the copy I have. For you collectors out there, the true first press of this has a longer title. It's called If You Put Your Arms Around Me. They couldn't fit it on one line. They had to put it on two lines. I don't know if they could even get that on the 78 of that. It wouldn't fit on the label. Johnny G here on a Saturday evening. By the way, they're talking about Vic Morrow. He was one of the kids that broke the teacher's records. I was just telling Braden in chat, if I brought my 78s in and they cracked my copy of the Kingsman on Club 51, I think I'd go out of my mind. I'd be attacking the students for breaking my records and messing up I don't know. It was crazy. If you saw Blackboard Jungle, you know what I mean. Anyway, Johnny G here on a Saturday evening. Let's continue. Here we are in the year 1955, and it's a request for Evan Blatt, this group from Harlem, New York. They had 6 releases on Bess Berman's Apollo label. Evan requested their first, written by the lead singer of the group at the time. His name was Floyd Adams. This is going out to Evan. August 1955 on Apollo. Give a listen to the keynotes with their tune called Zenda.
Cinder, my darling. Darling, I love you so. Cinder, my darling. Love you so. Cinder, my darling. Want you to know I love you. I'll never let you go. Cinder, my darling, the sun will shine, moon and the stars will say you're mine. Please come back and don't say no. I cried for you, I lied for you, I'll even lay down and die for you. Well, can't you believe? Well, I'm begging, beg you please. Well, Cinder, won't you please be mine? Well, Cinder, my darling, love you so. Cinder, my darling, wants you to know I love you. I'll never let you go.
As by request for Evan Blatt there, the Keynotes. Keynotes, August 1955, release on Bess Berman's Apollo record label. Zenda is the name of the tune. Actually, it sounds like they're saying Zender. If you listen closely, at least the lead there, Floyd Adams. Now, Floyd would leave the group after their third release to be replaced by Sam Kearney, which is a cool record. Really Wish You Were Here. That's a cool one. I like that record. Braden, don't you have that one on a 78? Really Wish You Were Here. That is a cool up-tempo by the Keynotes. Johnny G here on a Saturday evening. We continue here. We move into 1956 now. Now, according to Marvin Pod, this next group is out of Philadelphia, and it's a request for listener Emnon, as this group had two releases on Jack and Bill Angel's Neil label out of New York City. Their first was a cool tune, their biggest hit, I guess we can say, New York hit, called Pretty Little Girl, and Emnon requested the follow-up here. This is late 1956. Give a listen to the Monarchs on the Neil label, and their cool tune, it's called Always Be Faithful.
Flip, flip, zoo-wah, flip, flip, zoo-wah, flip, flip, zoo-wah, flip, flip, zoo-wah. Don't try to get me about love, for that's the subject that I'm the master of. Don't try to get me, for I'm not getting you. Flip, zoo-wah, flip, flip, zoo-wah.
Yes, always be faithful, your love will always be sweet, soft, tender as you were to me. Don't try to get me, for I'm not getting you. Yes, always be faithful, swear by stars above that you will always be my only love. Don't try to get me, for I'm not getting you. Yes, you know, and I know that I've always been nice. If I kiss you once, I kiss you twice, and wow, wasn't that nice? Wasn't that nice? Yes, always be faithful, so the story goes. You cheated my heart, and cheating never goes. Don't try to kid me, for I'm not kidding you. Well, I tried so hard to stay real cool. I tried to take care of you, boo. Then you left me. got right to do. Always be faithful, so the story goes. You cheated my heart and cheating never goes. Don't try to get me, for I'm not getting you. Yes, for I'm not giving you.
As by request for listener Amnon there, those are the great Monarchs. The second of two on the Neil record label, late 1956 release. It's called Always Be Faithful. Now, Marvin Pod mentions that in his group, that in his book, that this also comes out on the small Neil logo. Marvin, you can email me. I've never seen it on the small Neil logo. I know that the always Pretty Little Girl does come out on the small Neil logo, and then as the record started taking off, it was released on the big Neil, and after that, all the presses, at least that I've seen on the label, have been with the big Neil logo. You can easily look at it. It's much smaller on some of. You can go to Pop Psych and you can see them, but I haven't seen it on Always Be Faithful. If you have, I'd like to see a photograph. If anybody has this small Neil on this of Always Be Faithful, I would like to see it. Send it to vinyltreasures@aol.com. Anyway, I mean, it may be there. Who knows? Maybe a leftover label. It's got to be pretty rare, though, I'd say. Johnny G babbling on here. Let's continue here. Let's send this next song out to listener George Tompkins in our YouTube chat room. Now, this group, they hail from Knoxville, Tennessee. They had 3 releases on Herman Lubinsky's Savoy record label. Let's give a listen to their third. It features Benjamin Washington on lead. This is by request going out to George Tompkins, April 56. They're called the 5 Pennies. The 5 Pennies on the Savoy label. It's called My Heart Trembles.
Tremble, 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 tremble.
My heart seems to tremble when you pass me by. I wanted to tell you how I feel inside. My fingers are symbols as I kneel to pray that you could love me as I love you today. Seems to tremble when you're by my side. I know you could love me if you only try. I know you could love me. If you only
That's a wonderful tune there by request for George Tompkins. Those are the Five Pennies with Benjamin Washington on lead. April 1956 release on the Savoy label, My Heart Trembles. What a cool tune that is. This group also recorded as the Four Jokers on the Sue label. I have that pulled to play on a future show. And also a group that backed up Freddie Scott on the Arrow label. They were called The Chimes. As we continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. And up next, a request from my number one California listener, Matey Campboy, as we go to High Weiss's Old Town record label for a duo you all know, Robert Carr and Johnny Mitchell, a.k.a. Robert and Johnny, on the Old Town record label. Now, Matey requested the B-side to their second release on Old Town Records. It's a song they wrote from October 1956. Here's Robert and Johnny. It's going out to Matey Campboy on Old Town Records, and it's called $1 Million Bills.
I really love you. Baby doll, sugar pie, you got something money can buy. Oh, I love you. Oh, yes, I do. Baby doll, sugar pie. Ooh, I've got millions, all dollar bills, dollar bills. Can't buy your things. I need you. Oh, yes, I do. I need you. I do. Money can't buy single thing anymore. I love you, yes I do. Say that you love me too. I've got millions, all dollar bills, can't buy your things. I need you. Oh, yes, I do. Baby doll, sugar pie. Ooh, baby doll, sugar pie.
That's by request for Matey Campboy there, Robert and Johnny. Robert and Johnny, that's the flip side of Your Mine, released in October of 1956, High Weiss's Old Town record label. That's $1 Million Bills, something that Johnny G needs to buy all these 45s. And my first copy of that I found on a 78. Braden, I have that on a 78. So maybe that'll become for sale. I found it at the Yonkers Raceway Flea Market. When I first started looking for records, I used to go there like 6 o'clock in the morning as everybody would set up. I had competition. When you go to these flea markets, you get competition. You do. Johnny G here on a Saturday evening. Let's continue here. Now, I mentioned before that, or earlier, that tomorrow is Mother's Day, and most of us will be, we'll be celebrating if our mothers are still with us. We're thankful for that. If they're not, again, we wish and we miss them, but we always will remember them. That is for sure. And and I want to send this one out to all the mothers out there, especially those tuned into the Vinyl Treasure Show, and especially my mom. This group is out of Harlem, New York. First recorded as the Toppers on the Jubilee record label. Then they changed their name to the Hurricanes. And let's give a spin to their fifth release on Sid Nathan's King record label. It features James Brown on lead, not the James Brown and the Famous Flames, a different James Brown. But this is going out to all the moms. July 1956, the Hurricanes on the King label, and their tune called Dear Mother.
A very sad mother was lying in the bed with a letter in her hand, and this is what it said. Dear mother, you are so very sweet. We think of you every hour and every day of the week. Day of the week. Dear mother, you said you didn't want her to marry. Oh, any Tom, Dick, or Harry. Well, mother, here's what I have to say. Yes, we married last night, and we knew you wouldn't stand for such. That we still love you so. Yes, we love you so, oh, very much. Oh, dear mother, you're welcome here forever. And we hope that you'll never be so selfish that bad, and pray for us every day. Oh.
July 1956 release there on the King label. Fifth release for the Hurricanes. Hurricanes on King, going out to all the moms there. Dear Mother. Let's continue here. We move into 1957 now. Last week I played a request for Nick Nicola. He requested Dennis Brown and the Atomics on the Atomic record label, a pretty rare 45, a song called Hiding My Tears with a Smile. What a cool tune that is. And I think it was Matey that asked me this week, Johnny G, can you play Hiding My Tears with a Smile by the Teen Clefs? I wish I could. I didn't have that 45. I'm looking for that one on the Dice label. Not an easy record to find either, but I don't have that one. But we're going to flip over this Dennis Brown and the Atomics record because both sides are excellent, I'd say. This one from February 57. Let's send this one out to George Tompkins. Maybe this record looked very familiar to George, but both sides of this record I love. This one, February 57, Dennis Brown and the Atomics on the Atomic label. It's called Show Me the Rose.
Of my everlasting
Send that one out to George Tompkins there. That used to be his 45, believe it or not. It's now in my collection. Yes, it is. February 1957. Dennis Brown and the Atomics on the Atomic label. Show Me the Rose is the name of the tune. Is that where they give the rose on like the Bachelor or the Bachelorette? Is that why they give the rose? Is that the whole meaning of that? I don't know what the meaning is of the rose. I know Barbara likes roses, and I send her, I think they've been giving her 18. I guess if you order the dozen roses deluxe, they become 18. They're not cheap now, but I send them to her on special occasions. I do that. I know she likes the roses. Johnny G here on a Saturday evening. Let's continue in the year 1957. And last week, I played a request for Daniel Kubacki. He requested the B-side to the Valentine's final release on George Goldner's Rama record label. It was called I Cried, Oh, was the name of the tune. And I couldn't file this one back unless I played the A side. Now, this tune I first heard on the Gus Gossard show. Maybe he closed the show with this song, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe he did, if my memory serves me right. But I just love this tune also. And Richard Barrett is not on lead. Carl Hogan is on lead here. This one from April 57. Give a listen to the Valentines on the Rama label with their classic tune. It's called Don't Say Good Night.
Don't say good night. Please don't close the door. Just hold my hand for a minute or more. Good night. Just hold my hand. I'm at your command. Don't say good night.
Don't say good night.
That's a classic there. I haven't heard that in a long, long time. It sounds really great on original vinyl. It sure does. Those are the Valentines, their April 1957 release. Carl Hogan, the lead singer there on the Rama label, Don't Say Goodnight. Johnny G not saying goodnight, not till at least 1 a.m. in the morning. If I can get through these 50-45s, I pull out 50-45s to spin here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. We are in the year 1957. Up next, a request for Nick Nicola, who couldn't be with us live tonight, but he Facebook messaged me and said he had to work tonight, but he definitely checks in on the archive because he sends comments to me after the show. But he sent in some cool requests, and here is one of them here. It's on Zell Sanders' J&S record label when they were located at 1651 Washington Avenue in the Bronx, New York, if you know where that is. And this is the group's second release for the Climbers. They are not easy records to find. You can find the large second presses with the large print, I meant to say, but the small print originals, very difficult to find. This is one of them. And I have no info on this group, but supposedly Johnny Rivers of Johnny and Joe fame was a member of this group. So this is by request for Nick, February 57. These are the Climbers on J&S. It's called I Love You.
Last night you told me I was the only one. Tonight you're acting blue. I can't believe it's you. I love you, darling. I do love you. I love you. Yeah. I always want you near, so please don't have no fear. I want to meet your heart, 'cause you're my darling dear. I love you, darling, I do. I want you near, darling, don't have no fear, 'cause you and I are near. You know I love you so, oh, now and evermore. I hope you understand that this love is grand. Now we can start anew. Now that I have you, I love you, darling, I do. I want you there, darling, don't have no fear, 'cause you and I are near. You know I love you so, oh, now and evermore. I hope you understand that this love is grand. Now we can start anew. Now that I have you, I love you, darling, I do. I love you.
As by request for Nick Nicola, their Rare 45 on Zell Sanders' J&S record label out of the Bronx, New York. They're called The Climbers, February 57 release called I Love You. Both records by that group, ultra rare, on original on the J&S label. We are in the year 1957, and the late Lloyd Price was not only a singer and songwriter, but he also was a label owner, and his first label that he managed was the KRC label. KRC Records stood for Kent Recording Corp., first located in Washington, D.C., by the way, but then they moved to New York City in October of 1957. Then again, there was a third move in May of 1958 to Jackson, Mississippi. Now, the label was owned by Price, William Boskert, and one other partner, Harold Logan. Then in 1958, Logan bought the other 2 out, and I think that's when they moved down to Mississippi. But there were only 11 releases on the label, and this is the only group record. I think that Kreider has one other one other on this KRC label. But this group was called the King Bees, not the same group that recorded on the Flip label, probably local to Washington, D.C. But anyway, this is with the Lloyd Price Orchestra, and this is a label that Lloyd managed from September 57. Give a listen to the King Bees on KRC. It's called Can't You Understand?
Can't you understand me, darling? I love you, oh, darling, my dear one. Can't you love me too, so, darling, my dear? Why can't you understand?
That is on Lloyd Price's KRC record label. The late Lloyd Price, he also owned a record label, KRC, that group called the King Bees. Know nothing else about the group, I really don't. But September 57 release, it's called Can't You Understand. Another label that Lloyd Price owned and managed was the Double L label. Some really good records on there. Pookie Hudson, Roy Tyson, some nice records on that Double L record label. Johnny G here on a Saturday evening. Let's continue. We are in 1957. Up next, a request from my number one California listener, Matey Campboy. It's on Lenora Roop's Ebb label out of LA, California. This group included two members of the Pyramids that recorded on the Federal and the Hollywood record labels. They were Joe Dandy and Melvin White. Now, Matey requested the B-side of their Ebb release, written by Melvin White. This charted number 24 on Don Barksdale's KWBR station out in Oakland, California. This is by request for Matey, July 57. These are the Tempo Mentals on Ebb, their tune called Dearest. As by request from Matey Campboy there, The Sound of California by the Tempomentals. That's actually the B-side of the 45, I think. July 57 on the Ebb record label, song entitled Dearest. Hope you're digging on the cool tunes tonight, all on original vinyl. We do it every Saturday from 10 to 1 a.m. here on Top Shelf Oldies and the Vinyl Treasure Show. We are in the year 1958. Let's head to Asbury Park, New Jersey for this next singer that would have his biggest national hit in 1963 with his version of Since I Fell for You, but he began his career with the Decca record label back in 1958, and listener George Tompkins requested his debut single on the Decca label. This is actually a great two-sided 45 in my opinion. So it's the first of two for Mr. Lenny Welch. Lenny Welch, who is a Facebook friend, he's on Facebook, and still performing today, and this is by request for George Tompkins here, June 58, Lenny Welch, his first release on the Decca label. It's called Rocket to the Moon.
Me and my baby, we're gonna up tonight. We're gonna rock it to the moon, to our heart's delight. Me and my baby down in the old wood shack.
That's going out to George there, the debut single for Lenny Welch. Lenny Welch here and a group, June 1958 release on the Decca label. Rocket to the Moon is the name of the tune as we continue here. And on last week's Vinyl Treasure show, played a request for Evan Blatt. He requested the Guy Tones, a group out of Philadelphia, PA. They had 5 releases on Sid Nathan's deluxe label. Evan requested the B-side to their 5th and final single on deluxe. It was called Tell Me. Actually, Tell Me, How Was I to Know? But let's give a listen to the intended A-side before we file this one back down in the No Humidity basement. It features James Brown Robinson on lead, who was crippled by polio as a child, but it did not stop him from pursuing a singing career. And this one here from July 1958, the Guy Tones on deluxe. It's called Your Heart's Bigger Than Mine.
The tears fell from her eyes. She was crying. She said that she loved you. She was lying. Your heart's bigger. Yes, your heart's bigger. Yes, your heart's bigger than mine. Said that she needed you. Overseas you gone. When you return home, you found she done you wrong. Your heart's bigger. Yes, your heart's bigger. Yes, your heart's bigger than mine. What did you do when you found that love wasn't true? How did you feel when you found it wasn't real? Did you feel sad or did you feel bad because she done you wrong? She said that she needed you, but she left you alone. I'll bet $1 million you'll welcome her back home. Your heart's bigger. Yes, your heart's bigger. Yes, your heart's bigger than mine. What did you do when you found that love wasn't true? How did you feel when you found it wasn't real? Did you feel bad or did you feel sad because she done you wrong? She said that she needed you, but she left you alone. I'll bet $1 million you'll welcome her back home. Your heart's bigger. Yes, your heart's bigger than mine.
As Johnny G gets caught here, you have to excuse me on live radio. Actually, we are, there you go, queued that up. So anyway, that's a cool tune. I love the Guy Tones there, and Guy Tones, July 1958, Your Heart's Bigger Than Mine. That's their final release for the deluxe record label. Featured James Brown Robinson on lead. He had that distinct voice, and when I was researching, I wasn't sure because Charlene didn't have where the group was from, so I went back and I typed in the lead singer's last name, and I typed in the song, and I typed in deluxe records, and I found his obituary. Unfortunately, passed away in May of 2011, but it had a nice write-up about him, and it mentioned that he had polio as a child, but it didn't stop him from his singing career and what he did. So it was a very nice write-up about the lead singer on that, James Brown Robinson, and left us with a number of wonderful sides on the deluxe record label. Let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. We continue with a request for listener Amnon as we head to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, as this master here of this song was recorded for Joe Auerbach's Phoebe record label, but he leased it to Leonard Chess and his Checker label. The group is called Sunny Day and the Versatiles, but this lead singer, Sunny Day, is really David Faltowski. And he wrote this song, and the Versatiles, they are none other than the Del Vikings, who at this time were Crip Johnson, Chuck Jackson, Eddie Everett, and Don Jackson. So this is by request for Amnon, February 58, Sunny Day and the Versatiles on the Checker label. It's called Speedalack.
A fine automobile, white sidewalls and shiny black, slick as a whistle and sharp as a tack. Speed light, that's a fine automobile. Got a cute little Billy sitting by my side. She wanna go for a speed light ride, 4 carburetors and an overdrive. Speed like a 205.
As by request for Amnon there, that's Sunny Day and the Versatiles. Really not Sunny Day, the lead singer there, his name is David Faltowski. You can check it out if you have the record, the writer credit, that's the singer. And the Versatiles, they're really the Del Vikings, the later Del Vikings, when Chuck Jackson, a member of that group, February 58, going out to Amnon, Speedalack, that one there on the Checker record label. I used to drive my Cadillac, it used to be a Speedalack, and it was in, I think the DTS, the 2010 DTS, that was the last 8-cylinder model that has really great pickup. I like great pickup on the Cadillac, because when I used to zoom out of New Jersey and get on the Garden State Parkway, when you're coming up off of, when you're getting on with the on-ramps, I just press on the gas. And my brother was following me one day, so out of Jersey, and I just jammed on the gas, and he goes, "Where you going?" It was like I went from like 0 to 85 in like a few seconds. It's pretty cool with the Cadillac. I said Speedilac. Johnny G here on a Saturday evening. Let's continue here, and we go back to Chicago for a request for Nick Nicola. I have to apologize in advance for the condition on this record. It's very hard. I can't find a nice copy of this record. And I don't know, there was one a number of years ago, but it was a bootleg. When the guy sent it to me, it looked like the original. It had the white band, it had the wider band and everything. I said, this is a 1973 issue. What are you sending me this record for? So he refunded my money, and I kept the record. But I said, I don't want that. I want an original. But I had this copy. I'm not happy with how it sounds, unfortunately. So I'm apologizing with it. But I love the song, and it's a request for Nick Nicola by the Eldorados on the VJ label. And in mid-1957, friction developed with the lead singer Perkle Moses and the rest of the group. So they split up. Perkle Moses went one way, and the other Eldorados, they went another way. They recorded as the Four Eldorados on the Academy label. They also recorded as the Tempos on the Rhythm label. But what did VJ do? They still wanted Perkle Moses to sing with a group, so they paired him up with the Cool Gents, who just lost D. Clark. He just left for a solo career, and he matched the Cool Gents up with Perkle Moses, and they became the new Eldorados. And the result were 2 releases. 3 Reasons Why. It's a great record. I have a nice copy of that, but I don't have a nice copy of the second release by the new group. But we're going to give it a spin anyway. Hopefully it'll sound good with this new needle that I put on this turntable. So by request, going out to Nick Nicola, December 58 release, although this was recorded in 57. The Eldorados with Perkle Moses on lead, the new Eldorados we'll call it, VJ Records. It's called Lights Are Low. For Nick.
The lights are low, the night is still, gone is my love. Gone is the thrill, click, the lights are low, and in my lonely room, gone is the joy, oh, in comes the gloom, days are so lonely, my nights are so blue, dear, since you've been gone, the lights are low, so low, since you've been gone. Oh, my darling, baby, the lights are low, and as daybreak appears, the thrill is missing. Oh, because you're not here. Days are so lonely, my nights are so blue, oh dear, since you've been gone. The lights are low, so low, since you've been gone. The lights are low, and as daybreak appears, the thrill is missing, because you're not here. So long, the lights are low, so long, the lights are low, so long, the lights are low.
So what somebody did to this record, I'll tell you why. They did something to this record. I forget who I bought these from. I don't know if it was somebody up in the wait, don't want to mess this next record up. I don't want to ruin this needle. Hold on here. This Columbia record has an issue with it too. But anyway, there was one guy that I bought records from. I forget his name. They were fairly cheap, and he had a number of nice obscure records. But it was something. It's not like a polish but he did something to this where somehow. Maybe he buffed it in a way, and it lowered the grooves of the record because there were like probably a lot of scratches on it. So at some points, at the high points, there's like distortion. So maybe at that part, which is why it doesn't really sound good because the needle's not really getting. Because there's no groove there. So unfortunately. So the flip side plays a lot better because that side wasn't as bad, I guess. But again, I'm sorry about it because I asked around for a copy of this. I can't find a copy of this record for some reason. Like I said, if I see one, I don't buy on eBay, but if I see one on eBay, I'm going to go for it because I end up paying the taxes on that record. Anyway, that's The Lights Are Low, a great tune by the Eldorados by request for Nick Nicola, December 58, as I'm babbling on here. Let's continue here. Up next, a request for listener Joe Shacatano, and it's a solo effort for X-Lark's lead singer, Gene Mumford. He signed with Columbia Records sometime, I forget what year it was, maybe early 58, and had 3 releases. Now, Joe requested his second. This is with Frank DeVol and his orchestra. This is by request for Joe, and this also has an issue. Again, a Stone Mint copy. If you listen, I thought it possibly might be Q-Burn. It sounds like Q-Burn, but maybe somebody played it with a terrible needle and then took it off after, because it's only for a few seconds. You'll hear it, but I could see it a little bit, but it's a nice hard vinyl press. Anyway, you'll be the judge. This is by request for Joe Shacatano, November 58, Gene Mumford on Columbia. It's called Street of Dreams.
Love laughed at a king. Kings don't mean a thing on the street of dreams. Dreams broken in two can be made anew on the street of dreams. Gold, silver and gold, all you can hold is in the moonbeams. Poor, no one is poor, long as love is sure on the street of dreams. Gold, all you can hold is in the moonbeams. Poor, no one is poor, long as love is sure on the street of dreams.
As by request for Joe Shacatano, you heard it. It was longer than Q-Burn, though. It was too long. Because if you listen in the beginning, you wouldn't have Q-Burn this long. Listen to how long it is. Listen.
Love laughed at a king. Kings don't
Then
mean
it clears
a thing.
up. You see how it clears up
on the
there?
street of
So I think I just think that it's somebody played it with like a bad needle, I guess. But anyway, that's by request for Joe Shacatano there. That's the great Gene Mumford there. Gene Mumford, he was previously the lead of the Larks. November 1958 on Columbia. Street of Dreams is the name of the tune. Let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasures Show. And speaking of Joe, last week he requested Jim Holiday and the Future Tones on the Four Star label, usually not known for R&B vocal groups, but I featured the ballad side last week called All I Want Is You, and listener Daryl Letts, he requested the flip side, again written by the lead singer. His name is Jim Holiday. So let's give a listen to this side here. Jim Holiday and the Future Tones, June 58 on the Four Star label. It's called Voice of the Drums for Daryl.
Can you hear the voice of the drums? My boo, pa 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 you. My boo. Pa 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 you, my boo. Pa 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 you, my boo. Pa 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 you. The drum I sing. Pa 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 you. Beware of your eyes. Pa 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 you. The drum I sing. Pa 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 you. I should realize. Pa 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 you. That if you capture my heart right from the start, I'll be your slave. I'll be your slave. The drum I say, pa 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 you. Love's in the air, pa 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 you. The drum I say, pa 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 you. It must track somewhere, pa 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 you. And when you're near me like this, my lips long to kiss the one they crave. Oh, when you're near me, you're all I'm thinking of. So, my darling, this must be love. Drum I say, pa 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 you. I'll never be free, pa 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 you. The drum I say, pa 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 you. Witchcraft's on me, pa 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 you. So far as long as I'm in live, I hereby pledge to give you all my love. Oh, when you near me, you're all I'm thinking of. So, my darling, this must be love. The drum say, pa 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 you. I'll never be free, pa 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 you. The drum say, pa 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 you. Witchcraft's on me, pa 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 you. So far as long as I may live, I hereby pledge to give you all my love. My boo, pa 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 you. My boo, pa 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 you. My boo, pa 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 you.
As by request for Daryl Letts there, that is, lost my place, Jim Holiday and the Future Tones, June 1958 release on the Four Star record label. Four Star, known for country and country boppers there, but that's the Voice of the Drums. Now, this is the same singer that recorded as Jimmy Holiday on the Everest, KT, Kent, and other labels. It is the same artist. Anyway, Johnny G here on a Saturday evening. We continue here, and we head to Oklahoma City, Oklahoma for this next group and request for George Tompkins. It's an ultra rare 45, came out on the King's X label. The group is called The Rebels. I have no other info on this group, but the pressing is out of California on the Monarch, out of the Monarch pressing plant. So there is a delta here in this. And someone said that this group was the Twisters, but I have to disagree. The Twisters were a California group. I don't think this group is a California group. There is another group called The Rebels that it looks like on a California label, like Gaslight, I think, that are the Twisters, but not this group. And I have another record, an instrumental. I think it's called Vodka vodka on this, but it's not a California press. So I don't know what's going on with this label. Maybe they needed somebody to press it up and nobody was in the Oklahoma area. Anyway, but it's a cool tune here by request for George Tompkins, September 58. Give a listen to the Rebels on King's X. It's called In My Heart.
In my heart, in my soul, there's a story untold. Take my hand and make me understand. Oh, love, I once knew. It's all over now, nothing I can do. Take my hand and make me understand. Way I feel my love is real to the end of eternity. Oh, the way I feel my love is real until you come back to me. So please come back to my arms. Tell the story of all your charm. Then take my hand and make me understand. Way I feel my love is real to the end of eternity. Oh, the way I feel my love is real until you come back to me. So please come back to my arms. Tell the story with all of your charm. Then take my hand and make me understand. Whoa, make me understand.
It's kind of like a quick ending there, you would think. But anyway, that's a great record and a rare 45 there by the Rebels going out to George Tompkins. September 58 on the King's X label, In My Heart is the name of the tune. Let's continue here. We head to Mount Vernon, New York for this next group. That's really not too far from where Johnny G is broadcasting tonight's show, but this is a request for listener Emnon. I like both sides of this 45 too, by the way. The group is called the Versatiles, not to be confused with the group that was backing up Sunny Day, but this lead singer here, his name is Ben Sands. Ben Sands is the lead singer. October 58, going out to Emnon, the Versatiles on Atlantic. It's called Passing By.
Shoo, shoo-be-doo-be-doo, shoo-wah-hoo-wah, shoo, shoo-be-doo-be-doo, shoo-wah-hoo-wah, shoo, shoo-be-doo-be-doo, shoo-wah-hoo-wah, shoo-be-doo-be-doo, just passing by, when I'm on your side, oh my, passing by, shoo-wah-hoo-wah, caught the foot of your cheek when you get your light, oh my, passing by. I'm a reeling, rocking, rolling all night long. I never had passion.
Cause if I was your kid, when you gave me a ride, oh my, passing just passing by.
Like a love I never had.
Was just passing by. When I caught your eye, oh my, passing
As by request for Amnon there, the Versatiles, October 1958 release on the Atlantic label. Ben Sands, he's the lead singer. The song is called Passing By. Johnny G just passing by all these cool 45s. Hope you're digging on the tunes here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. If you like the show, please subscribe to my YouTube page and click the bell to get notifications of when I do a live broadcast. You'll see as we continue here. And I have another request here. This one going out to Joe Shacatano. This is on the Edison International label. This singer, he goes by the name of Nicky St. Clair. And I think he's backed up by the group on this side. I know the group gets mentioned on the flip, but not on this side that Joe requested. But I think there is a group on this for sure. They're called the Five Trojans, who would later have their own release on the Edison International label, a song called Lola Lee. I don't think it's the same group that recorded on the Tender label, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. Maybe. I don't think so. Well, I don't know. Is this... I don't think so. No, I think it's a different group. But the Five Trojans are backing up Nicky St. Clair on this one as we move into 1959 with a request for Joe Shacatano. July 59, Nicky St. Clair on Edison International. It's called Creator of Love.
God made a garden, He made a tree, He made you, and He made me. God made the sky and the stars above, and He made you for me to love. God made winter and He made spring. He made birds so they may sing. God made summer and He made fall. He made someone for us all. Now that I know He made you for me, my life is filled with joy. Now that I know that you're my girl, I'll always be your boy. God made the river, the trees grow tall. He made the raindrops so they may fall. Just as He made the stars above, He made you for me.
As by request for Joe Shacatano there, Nikki St. Clair, and they are backing him up on that one. Those are the five the five Trojans, July 1959 on Edison International, Creator of Love. I don't think you'll get that one on a 78, Braden. Not that one from 59, nor this next one. Maybe. I don't know if Demon had any 78s. But up next, a request for listener Daniel Kubacki. This group formed while attending Centennial High School in Compton, California. They originally recorded as Walter Ward and the Challengers. That was the record I received on Christmas Eve one year. And it was cracked in half, and the guy who sold me that record, it was a buy it now for $250 or $200, and the guy didn't have his receipt for the he wouldn't give me my money back. I tried to file a claim at the post office. This was before eBay had like the refund policy like they have now, and I'm telling you, I was pissed that I couldn't get my money back. So the post office said, well, Johnny, unfortunately, since you don't... I said, he insured it. Here's the box. There's the number, but we need the sticker. We need the ticket. We only can give you $50. So I lost like $150 or $200 on that Walter Ward and the Challengers record. On the Melatonin label, I think it came out. I was pissed at that guy. I gave him a negative. I forget who he was, but it was a long time ago. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. But they first recorded as Walter Ward and the Challengers. Then Jesse Belvin introduced the group to the writing producing team of Fred Smith and Cliff Goldsmith, and they changed their name to the Olympics. They signed with Demon Records for 3 releases. You know, their biggest hit was their first release. It was called Western Movies, or was it their second? I forget. But then Daniel requested their 3rd release. This charted number 20 on WYDE in Birmingham, Alabama. We go back to January 1959 for the Olympics. The Olympics on the Demon label. It's called Your Love, going out to Daniel.
Your love, Wahoo, is all I want. Wahoo, is all I need. Wahoo, is your love, Wahoo, make me feel so fine. Wahoo, to me all the time. Wahoo, your love, baby, oh baby. Can't you see I need it all the time. Baby, baby, give me some of your love, tonight your love. Wahoo, is all I want. Wahoo, is all I need. Wahoo, is your love. Baby, baby, can't you see I need it all the time. Baby, give me some of your love, tonight your love. Wahoo, is all I want. Wahoo, is all I need. Wahoo, is your love. Wahoo, is your love. Wahoo, is your love. Wahoo, is your love.
As by request for Daniel Kubacki there, those are the Olympics. The Olympics on the Demon record label, January 59 release. It's called Your Love. Let's continue here in 59. We head to Detroit, Michigan for this next request for Nick Nicola. As I have to say, this song, I think, was inspired by a release by the Capris that recorded on the Sabre label, not the There's a Moon Out Tonight Capris, a different Capris group, but they do a song called My Promise to You, and I think that song inspired this song which by this group called the Chancellors. So it seems to be the same, the same melody, the same kind of tune, but different words. Instead of My Promise to You, this one's called My Thoughts to You. So this is going out to Nick Nicola here by request, May 59, the Chancellors on the Storm label with My Thoughts to You.
Bright as the starlight that shines above you, sweet as the roses that surround you, that, my dear, that's my thought to you. My thoughts to you. Cool as the breeze that blows through your hair, sweet as the summer, I know you'll be near. That, my dear, that's my thought to you. My thought to you. I think of you, darling, even though we are apart. Every minute, every hour, every day. I hope and I pray that you'll hear my thoughts, even when they say, bright as the moonlight that's up above you, sweet as the love that so folds you, that, my dear, that's my thought to you. That's my thoughts to you.
They're called the Chancellors there by request for Nick Nicola, May 59 on the Storm record label. The group is out of Detroit, Michigan. My Thoughts to You is the name of the tune. That is a great ballad there. And on Styrene, no less. I think that was Seymour Simon sold me that record, I think. He sold me some pretty nice pieces out of his collection on different conditions, though. But those collectors, those old-time collectors, well, I'm excluding George Tompkins because he wanted everything mint. But a lot of the collectors, they didn't care. Just they wanted the record. So it could be VG, VG Plus, VG Minus. They just wanted the record in whatever shape it was. But, some of the guys went for a lot of mint copies. Later on, I got into more of wanting minty records. But I don't think my records sound so bad. But some of them are not that good. And I apologize for that. But most of them play enough to enjoy. That's the way I look at it. Johnny G babbling on here for a Saturday. We are in the year 1960. We go back to Chicago, Illinois, to Sun Ra's Saturn label and the Sun Ra Arkestra, A-R-K. Spelt it pretty cool, but Sun Ra, he and his preachings of his cosmic philosophy and knowledge of the stars and planets fit right into what Barbara likes astrology. Well, not so much astrology. She definitely likes the planets, I can tell you that much. But I wonder if we can ask Sun Ra if he can give us the lowdown on the recent UFO sightings. There's been a lot of UFO sightings lately, which is pretty interesting. But he has some pretty cool releases on his Saturn label, especially this group called the Cosmic Rays. They have 2 releases on the label. I Still Need Their First, an ultra rare record. I don't have that one on the yellow Saturn label, but I have their second, featuring Calvin Barron on lead. We go back to March of 1960, the Cosmic Rays on the Saturn label. It's called Daddy's Gonna Tell You No Lie. March 1960 release there for the Cosmic Rays. Calvin Barron on lead there on Sun Ra's Saturn record label with the Sun Ra Orchestra. Song entitled Daddy's Gonna Tell You No Lie, and a cool tune there with the bongos and the record shop and the lyrics. That's a pretty cool tune. Johnny G here on a Saturday evening. Let's continue here. And last week I played a request for listener Nat Papagallo, listening in Naples, Florida. He requested a hit by the Flamingos. The side I played was Nobody Loves Me Like You Do. And he also requested the B-side of the record, which was written by group member Terry Johnson, but the B-side features Tommy Hunt on lead, and this is a B-side here on the Vinyl Treasure Show, going out to Nat, February 1960. Give a listen to the Flamingos on the N label. It's called You, Me, and the Sea.
holding you close to me. It's paradise, just you and me and the sea. It's delightful holding you in my arms. It's paradise, just you and me and the sea. Whisper in my ear, tell me how you feel. Don't be afraid, our love will never fade. It's magic that draws you close to me. It's paradise, just you and me and the sea. Just you and me and the sea.
B-sides here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. That one there going out to Nat Papagallo, the B-side to Nobody Loves Me Like You Do. Those are the Flamingos there. Tommy Hunt on lead for that February 1960 on End. You, Me, and the Sea. It's just you, me, and Johnny G's Vinyl 45s every Saturday from 10 to 1 a.m. right here on Top Shelf Oldies. We are in the year 1960. And how about a request for Matey Campboy? Although this group, they are from Washington, D.C., they recorded on a Philadelphia label, Buddy Caldwell's V-Tone Records for this. They have 3 releases on V-Tone. Matey requested their second release. It features Eugene Williams on lead by request. Going out to Matey, May 1960. Give a listen to The Cruisers. The Cruisers on the V-Tone label. It's called Crying Over You.
me.
May 1960 release there for the Cruisers by request for Matey Campboy, Crying Over You. That one there on the V-Tone record label out of Philadelphia, although the group was out of Washington, D.C. But let's stay in Philadelphia for this next group. They had 3 releases on the Hilltop record label. This is their third, and I had this pulled to play last week because it's on my Facebook page for last week. I didn't get a chance to play it, but this is by request for Nick Nicola. This group is called The Dials. The Dials here, and it's the this is the 2 of the members, Michael Franklin and James Tyndall, later formed the Fabulous Dials, who recorded for the Joy label in '62, which I have pulled to play, a request for Nat. But let's give a listen to this one. The Dials here, going out to Nick, November 1960 on Hilltop. It's called Wondering About Your Love.
Wondering about your love,
Wondering about your love, wondering about your love.
to the one above. You have my heart. Just say you love me, and it was true love from the start. I remember when. I saw you and love walked in. So please be kind, for only your love can relieve my weary mind. Tell me truly, do you really love me like you said? Keep me wondering endlessly. True love can be grand. Tell me that you understand. Your heart I'll win, but until then I'll be wondering about your love. Me wondering endlessly. True love can be grand.
True love can be grand. True love
Tell me that you understand. Your heart I'll win, but until then I'll be wondering about your love.
Out of Philadelphia there, The Dials by request for Nick Nicola there, November 1960 release on the Hilltop record label. Wondering About Your Love. It's not an easy record to find, not as in demand as the, is it School Bells to Chapel Bells? I forget that one there, which is another hard one by the group. But anyway, Johnny G here on a Saturday evening as we continue here. And let's play one more tribute song to the late Lloyd Price, as he had his biggest success with the ABC Paramount record label releases. Stagger Lee was a big #1 record for him in '59. Personality, a #2 record for him in 1959. Gonna Get Married, a #3 record for him in 1959. This is on the Billboard charts, and I think he had 5 or so that made it top 20. And this is a B-side to one of his hits that made it up to number 14, a song called Lady Luck. We're going to flip that 45 over, give a listen to the B-side, which also charted on Billboard. This was a number 40 record on Billboard, and it did better, number 5 on WOKS out of Columbus, Georgia. and also I think KSAN in San Francisco. It was a big record there. This tune written by Luther Dixon. This is the late Lloyd Price. We go back to January 1960, ABC Paramount record label. The song is called Never Let Me Go.
Darling, hold me, and never, 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 never let me go. Darling, kiss me, kiss me, kiss me, and never, 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 never let me go.
B-sides here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. The late Lloyd Price there. We will never let him go. That is for sure. Left us with some great music there. January 1960 release on the ABC Paramount record label. That's a B-side to a hit, Lady Luck, song entitled Never Let Me Go. Let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. We move into 1961 now, and we head to Montreal, Canada for this next group, and it's a request for Cheryl Morgan, and their Canadian releases came out on the Quality label. That was the big label in Canada, but some of their U.S. releases, their licensed U.S. releases, came out on Bob Shad's Shad and Time labels, and two came out on the Rust label. Now, Cheryl requested their first on Rust. It features Joey Fricchetti on lead. This is going out by request to Cheryl Morgan, September 1961. These are the Bowmarks. The Bowmarks on Rust Records, going out to Cheryl, a song entitled Classmate.
Classmate, now that school is almost over, will you become a summer rover, or will you still be my girl? Wow, wow, wow. Classmate, will this parting bring us sorrow? Was my ring a thing you borrowed, just to set my heart a-whirl? Wow, 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 wow. You stole my heart do? Well, my ring starting you let me down or make me blue, classmate. When September comes around again, will you be more than just an old friend? Or will vacations prove we're through? Wow, 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 wow. Wow, 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 wow. You stole my heart. Wow. Now what you gonna do? Well, my ring started you. Let me down or make me blue, classmate. Do I spend the summer waiting, wondering and debating if I stand a chance with you. If I stand a chance with you. If I stand a chance with you.
As by request for Cheryl Morgan there, the Bo Marks, September 61, first of two on the Rust record label. Classmate is the name of the tune. I think they were also a self-contained group. They played all their the lead singer there, he was on piano and doing vocals. Johnny G here on a Saturday evening. We continue here, 1961, and a request for listener Daniel Kubacki. This group's first release came out on the Record label in late 1958, and then this was their next release from 1961. Some of the books have this release in 58. No way. This record was released just prior to the Del Satins 1961 release on the Win label. The song written by John Wagner, who I think is the lead singer on this, and who sold me this record? Dave the Rave had a duplicate of all records. Dave the Rave had a duplicate on this record, and he offered to sell it to me, and he said he gave me the better copy too. Anyway, and it's a request for Daniel Kubacki, 1961. Give a listen to the Gems on the Win label, WIN Records. It's called This Night. Wait, that's it. Yeah. This Night is Over. Well, not really, not yet.
Ooh.
By request for Daniel Kubacki, those are the Gems. Boy, Charlene, did I type this wrong or did you type it wrong? It's called The Night Is Over. I have This Night Is Over. That's not right. 1961 release, The Gems on the Win label, The Night Is Over. Going out to Daniel. No, the night is not over. It's almost over as we're winding down here. So let's continue here. We stay in 61 with a request for Nick Nicola. Great two-sided 45 on the Destiny label out of Lorain, Ohio, which was picked up 2 months later by VJ Records. So some of you collectors excuse me, may own this on the VJ label. I'm featuring the original styrene press. Yuck. I hate styrene records. I hate styrene 45s. But this only comes on a styrene press on the Destiny label. The group is called the Infatuators. The instrumentation here is by the Leisures. The Leisures. By request going out to Nick. June 61 on Destiny Records, the Infatuators with I Found My Love.
Boom, 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 every shabby do a boom, do baby do a every shabby do a boom, baby do a every shabby do a boom, baby do a found my love, found it at last, and the door is open to a lonesome past. Whoa, oh, oh. Shabby do a boom, baby do a every shabby do a boom, baby do a. When I first saw you in the moonlight, my heart skipped a beat all the rest of the night. Don't ever leave me, and we won't ever part. For if you do, you surely break my heart. I found my love, found it at last, and she'll never leave me, and I'll never let her go. Don't ever leave me, and we won't ever part. For if you do, you surely break my heart. I found my love, found it at last, and she'll never leave me. No, I'll never let her go. Every shabby do a bomb, baby do. 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 Every shabby do a bomb, baby do.
By request for Nick there, those are the Infatuators, June 61 on the Destiny record label. That is the first label. You may own it on the VJ label. That's the second press. Came out a couple months later. I Found My Love. The flip side's pretty nice too, by the way. I have another record on this Destiny label. It's a different color, I think. I think it's red, if I'm not mistaken. It's by Larry Lee and the Leisures. I forget if that's a good one or not. Anyway, Johnny G babbling on here. Let's continue here. Here's a request from my number one California listener, Matey Campoy. It's a girl group out of Los Angeles, California, discovered by Richard Berry, and he wrote both sides of this 45 here for this group, and more than likely discovered them, I'm pretty sure, but it's on the Rhonda label, R-O-N-D-A, Rhonda Records, and this was like a short-lived subsidiary of Bob Keene's Delphi label. And this is going out to Matey, special request to Matey, November 61. Give a listen to the Candlettes. The Candlettes on the Rhonda label. It's called Wrapped Up in a Dream.
Wrapped up in a
November 1961 release there for a girl group called the Candelettes. Candelettes on the Rhonda label. It's by request for Matey Campboy. Wrapped Up in a Dream is the name of the tune. Let's continue with more in 1961. This is a request for Evan Blatt. This is on the Pennant label out of Gardena, California. The only release for this group. They're known as Dave and the Stereos, written by the lead singer. His name is Dave Hairston. We go back to June 1961 for Dave and the, I almost said Dave the Rave and the Stereos. Might as well be for the title of the song. But this is by request for Evan, Dave and the Stereos on the Pennant label. It's called Roman Romeo. As by request for Evan Blatt there, Dave and the Stereos, June 1961 on the Pennant record label. Roman Romeo is the name of the tune. We'll also send that one out to Dave the Rave, the top shelf oldies Sunday night DJ here, 9 to midnight tomorrow evening. You can listen to Dave the Rave and his Relics and Rarities show. Let's continue here, and here is a request for listener Joe Shacatano, as I have no information about this group. The books say this record released in 1957. That is not correct. This 45 came out in 1961. It was written by the lead singer of the group. His name is Walter Lombard. Walter Lombard. It's a nice tune by request for Joe Shacatano. This is on the Deb label, DEB Records, 1961. William Lombard and the Cartels. It's called That's How We'll Be, for Joe.
I look to the sky, then you began to cry. There you were, there you were, in my arms. There you were, there you were, in my arms, in my arms. Then I held you tenderly, for I knew you were in grief. There you were, there you were. my arms. Will you promise right from your heart that you'll never cry no more? Will you give me your word that we'll do like we did before? Then I held you tenderly, for I knew you were in grief. There you were in my arms, there you were in my arms, in my arms, oh my arms, oh my.
As by request for Joe Shacatano there, nice tune by Wilbert Lombard and the Cartels with a K on the Deb label, Deb Records there, 1961 release. That's How We'll Be is the name of the tune as we continue here on Vinyl Treasure Overtime. A few more records to go here. We're going to fit them in here. 50 records I pull. And let's send this next tune out to listener Amnon. I know he likes this group from Brooklyn, New York. They had 3 releases for the Verve label. This was their first, and I guess you can consider this their biggest hit or their most well-known hit. It's a 1940s standard. This bubbled under at number 105 on the Billboard charts, was a number 20 record on WHK in Cleveland, Ohio. It features Larry Kassman on lead. We'll send this one out to Amnon. This is November 61. These are the Quotations on the Verve label with their tune or their rendition of the tune Imagination.
I'm in my imagination. I'm in my imagination. I'm in my imagination. Imagination is funny. It makes a cloudy day sunny. Makes a bee think of honey. Just as I think of you. I'm in my imagination. I'm in my imagination. Imagination is crazy. Your perspective gets hazy. Starts you asking a daisy what to do. I'm in my imagination. I'm in my imagination.
Have you ever felt a sweet caress and then a kiss and then find it's only your imagination?
Oh yes, I've sometimes felt a sweet caress and then a kiss and then found it's only my imagination. I'm in my imagination. I'm in my imagination. Imagination is silly. You go around willy-nilly. For example, I go around wanting you, and yet I can't imagine that you want me to. I'm in my imagination. I'm in my imagination. I'm in my imagination. I'm in my imagination.
We'll send that one out to Amnon there. The Quotations, Larry Kassman and the Quotations, November 61 release. We'll call that their hit. At least it was here played on New York radio. You can hear it. You could hear this on New York radio. Imagination is the name of the tune, and they have another release on the Admiral label that's pretty good too. Johnny G starting to wind down here. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more 45s to go here, and up next is a request for listener George Tompkins. He requested this group known as the Young Hearts on the Infinity record label. Now, 2 members of this group were previously members of the Marathons that recorded on the Sabrina label. If you know the song Don't Know Why, they were Thomas Turner and Donald Cook. Then Bobby Sanders, who produced this record, renamed that group the Young Hearts. And the A-side is a novelty tune called Unwelcome Guest, but the flip is a wonderful ballad written by the lead singer. His name is Donald Cook. This is by request for George Tompkins, April 61, The Young Hearts on Infinity. It's not a cheap record, that is for sure. It's called Do Not Forsake Me.
Forsake me. Do you remember the other night when I held you oh so tight, darling? Yes, that was the night. Do you remember the night we met? I held your hand near my chest, whispered low but clear into your ear. If you forsake me, I'll cry and plead, darling, if you leave me.
April 61 release there by request for George Tompkins, The Young Hearts there on the Infinity label. Do Not Forsake Me. What a killer record that is. It's expensive, Dave the Rave. I would gamble you have a bootleg, not an original on that. Anyway, I'm just saying. Let's continue here. 1, 2, 3, 4 more 45s to go here before we shut down here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Back to the Bronx we go with a request for Cheryl Morgan. This group had 11 releases on the Sabina label. In addition to an LP, they also have an LP that came out on Sabina that I do own, by the way. But Cheryl requested the group's 6th release, written by group members Fred Milano and Angelo Diallo. And this charted number 53 on Billboard, 51 on Cashbox, a number 18 record on KCRG. Did I do that right, Charlene? Out of Cedar Rapids, Iowa. It features Carlo Mastrangelo on lead. It's by request for Cheryl Morgan. October 62, the Belmonts on Sabina. This is the full title of the song. It's called Diddle-Dee-Dum, parentheses, What Happens When Your Love Has Gone. For sure.
I wanna talk a while, so gather round. I went to pick up my girl, this is what I found. She wasn't there and everyone said she's gone with someone else instead. Diddly dum 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 dum, diddly dum 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 dum, diddly dum diddly dum diddly dum. She's telling everyone we're blue. Now I don't know what I'll do. I cry so much, my eyes are sore. I never felt like this before. What happens when your love has gone? What happens when your dreams have ended? When all the time you thought her love was true. What do you do? Diddly dum 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 dum, diddly dum dum dum, Chihuahua, Chihuahua, diddly dum. I tried to call her on the phone. Her mother said she wasn't home. I wonder where she can be. What did she do with this to me? What happens when your love has gone? What happens when your dreams have ended? When all the time you thought her love was true. What do you do? You're all mixed up and your head's in a whirl. Or do you go out and try to find another girl? Can you find one who will be true? I just don't know since we are through. Now you heard what I had to say, so I guess I'll be on my way. I really have no place to go. I must be boring you, I know, but that's what happens when your love has gone. That's what happens when your dreams have ended. When all the time you thought her love was true. What do you do?
Those are the Belmonts there. The Belmonts with Carlo Mastrangelo on lead by request for Cheryl Morgan. We'll also send this one out to Alex, the Teen Tune guy, with a show on, I think it's Thursday night, so not always. Well, I think he rotates. I don't know. The Johnny G doesn't have time to listen to anything else except trying to put my show together, unfortunately. But that will send that one out to Alex. He likes that tune. The Belmonts there. October 62 release on the Sabina label. I think their first release was on Sabrina, but they had to change it because of the real Sabrina that the Marathons recorded on. But anyway, that's Diddle Dee Dum, parentheses, what happens when your love has gone. Let's continue. 3 more 45s to go before Johnny G signs off here. This is a request for Joe Shacatano, a very cool girl group sound on High Weiss's Old Town record label, and a nice rendition of this standard. This is the second of 2 on Old Town for Earlene and Her Girlfriends, October 1963 on Old Town, by request for Joe Shacatano. Their rendition of the tune, it's called Because of You.
Because of you, there's a song
That's a great girl group sound there by Earlene and her girlfriends by request for Joe Shacatano, October 63 release. High Weiss's Old Town record label, Because of You. And announcement here, I mentioned that Alex, he liked that Belmont's tune, but Alex will be on Top Shelf Oldies this coming Thursday with his platter party, 8 to 11 p.m. Eastern Time. So tune in to Top Shelf Oldies this coming Thursday to listen to Alex and the platter party. Johnny G's got 2 more 45s to go before we shut down here. We go back to Detroit, Michigan. This is a request for George Tompkins. It's on Mike Hanks' MRC label. This group is called the Leaping Flames. The tune was written by the label owner Mike Hanks and the lead singer. His name is James Ingram. We go to 1963 for the Leaping Flames on MRC. It's going out to George. It's called It's Been So Long.
It's been so long. At last our love is gone. 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 At last our love is gone. So long. At last our love again. It's been so long since I miss you. So long I haven't kissed you. 'Cause now I know how true love is. And like a wild dove, darling, I'm happy now and I love again. It's been so long. It's been so long since we said goodbye. So long, yeah, since I caught you in a lie. It's been so long since I caught you in the wrong. But I'm in love again. It's been so long. I found a love so really true. And she is nothing like you. I found a love so really new. And she would never make me blue. No, yeah. It's been so long since you tried to use me. So long, and my new love won't abuse me. It would have been a crime if I hadn't found out in time. Darling, I'm happy now and I love again. It's been so long. It's been so you know since I kissed you. It's been so
As by request for George Tompkins there, cool tune by the Leaping Flames, 1963 release out of Detroit, Michigan on the MRC record label, It's Been So Long. Well, that's going to do it for Johnny G and the Vinyl Treasure Show. I want to thank you for joining Johnny G, listening to original vinyl 45s out of my collection. You want to get in touch with Johnny G, send me an email at vinyltreasures@aol.com. You can send me your requests. Let me know ideas about the show. Theme shows. Daryl's got all the theme shows down, but it's very difficult to do a theme show when you got to go look for the records. I can tell you that's the hardest thing for being a record collector, to find the 45s and to file them back. It's always difficult. Always difficult. I need people here to help me do it. You could ask Dave the Rave. He has the same issue that I do. But again, thank you so much for tuning into the Vinyl Treasure Show. My pleasure to feature my original vinyl 45s for you every Saturday from 10 to 1 a.m. And you get to see the original 45s. What other shows do that? You know that I'm playing the real records here. I apologize for some of the conditions, unfortunately, but for the most part, they sound good. I got to try that 78 needle on that Eldorados that Mark suggested. But anyway, thank you all for tuning in tonight. But our closer tonight is a request for Matey Campway out in California, and it's a cover song that was first done by Gene and Eunice in 1955 on the Aladdin label. But this version is done by a duo. They are Johnny and Bill, and they're really Johnny Terry and Bill Hollings, and they were members of the famous Flames that backed up James Brown, and this happens to be a James Brown's record label, Try Me Records. I think the next release after this is Tammy Montgomery. Tammy Montgomery, of course, was Tammy Terrell. She has the next release, but this is just prior to that release. This is 1963, the closer tonight. Requested by Mateys by Johnny and Bill on Try Me, and their version of This Is My Story. And this is my story tonight. That's going to do it for the Vinyl Treasure Show. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. Please tune in tomorrow evening for my buddy Dave the Raven, his Relics and Rarities show. If you like the sound of the 60s, you want to tune in to Dave. It all begins on Top Shelf Oldies starting at 9 p.m., 9 to midnight right here on Top Shelf Oldies. Has a chat room on Top Shelf. You can check it out. It's not like my chat room and not the visual that you can see me, but I got to help Dave when the pandemic's over. Dave wants to get on camera too, and he wants to be a movie star like his buddy Johnny G. But that's going to do it, folks. Thank you so much again for all your requests and for tuning into the show. It's much appreciated. You can send me your request at vinyltreasures@aol.com. As I mentioned, you can also go to my homepage, vinyltreasures.net, where you can stream or download the shows there. Actually, I was talking to Al Bernard today, and they haven't been, he's up at Wesleyan College, and he says that they can't do their shows live, and he asked me if I had any recordings of my guest spots on his show. And I told him I did. I have to convert them, though, on MP3, so I got to go back to 1999. I think I did about 4 or 5 guest spots on his show where I played some pretty rare records. I went up to visit Al, but I'll find out about that. I gotta look around. But anyway, I'm babbling on here. Thank you again so much for tuning in, and thank you, Charlene, for all your help. I want to wish all the mothers out there a happy Mother's Day, and I will see you all here next Saturday at 10 o'clock, beginning at 10 o'clock for more 1950s and early 60s 45s out of my collection. Just want to say, everybody, so long for me.
This is my story. I have no son, just a lone and broken heart. Just because I fell in love with you, I pray, that you come back to me, just to hear you say you love me, and we'll never part from you. Do-ba, 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 do-ba. love me, and we'll never, never part. No, we'll never, never part. No, we'll never, never part. No, we'll never, never part.
Yes, George, I know that James Brown did the song Try Me. I neglected to mention it, that he named the label after his song. But here's the MRC label. Now, is this this is the same label that the Casual Crescendos did, Wish You Were Here, which I have, which is a styrene white label promo. It plays pretty nice. But this is the Leaping Flames. I think Dave the Rave has a nice copy of this. Better. This isn't that bad. I think I bought this from Jerry Seacrest a long time ago, if I'm not mistaken. And here's the here's Matey's request. I actually have 3 records on this label, Try Me. By this is Johnny and Bill. This is My Story, and I guess he contracted with King Records to put this out. But that's the Try Me record label. Again, thank you so much, folks, again, for tuning in and sticking around tonight. I mean, the hours fly by. Look at this. It's like 3.5 hours playing all these records. But thank you so much. I'll see you next Saturday there. Again, happy Mother's Day to all. Take care now. Bye-bye. Send me your requests.